We're going to start with a Caribbean jerk sandwich today, and we're also going to do a shrimp creole, okay? A signature dish in terms of an entree at night. We're kind of a deli by day and a dinner house at night, and then we morph into the beer garden. We do have 175 beers here, but ultimately that proximity to the college and to the working class and to the medical community, you know, it's all about beer. We make a chipotle mayo, and it is fantastic. We make it here, and
can I taste that?
Oh, you certainly can. That's about as good as it gets in terms of chipotle, you know.
I made homemade mayo for a dinner party Wednesday night, and people do not realize, I don't know why you would buy canned anything when it takes 5 minutes to make mayo, and you can add dill, you can add, there's so, to make, that's got some heat.
Well,
that's good.
It does, and the flavor's good, and it takes us about a couple hours really to chop all the ingredients that could go in here. There's some fresh ingredients that go in here. Okay, so now we have the components here of our sandwich. We have the bread, and if you noticed, I put the garlic butter on there with all the seasoning herbs in there, and so that's fine. So we have the components now of our sandwich. We have the nice bread, we have the filet, we have the grilled red onions, we have the ham with the Swiss cheese, and then you've got the chipotle mayo here, and we're going to put some nice fresh crisp leaf lettuce and tomato on this sandwich as we build it out.
One of the things that I noticed as you continue to cook this, I'm seeing all of your components have their own layer of flavors, which is very important. Layering your flavors in chefing is as big as anything.
I'm going to need a little bit more time on this piece here, so we're going to let that continue to simmer as we start on this creole portion, okay?
Now, anytime you're dealing with any peppers of any sort, you're dealing with a chemical called capsaicin. Peppers are all rated on what's called a Scoville scale, down to the very simplest pepper all the way up to the ghost chili. Habaneros, for example, are about 100 times hotter than a jalapeno. Jalapenos are very low on the scale, Scotch bonnets, habaneros, and then all the way up to the ghost chili.
Now we're going to saute this shrimp that's going to go into our dish, the shrimp creole. So we're going to put this in here. Now we're going to use a little bit of emerald, you know, seasoning here. So anyway, and we're going to kind of polish this off with a little emerald.
What's his favorite saying?
Bam! I guess that's it. Bam! This red sauce here we made with the crushed red peppers, and you can see here there's some green chilies in there and lots of other products. So this is going to be on top of the rice. We just use a dirty rice here, really a long grain dirty rice, and we're going to heat this rice, and we're going to serve this on the plate with this red sauce on it, and then this sauteed product is going to come right on top of it. So I'm going to slow this down just a little bit here, so that that we don't overcook that before we get all these products going back together. So obviously when we do all this, you know, timing's everything on cooking. So you know, some products got a 10-minute cook time, and some products got a 4-minute cook time. So really and truly, that production person has to be able to coordinate in the kitchen the cook times and everything, so all this food comes out at the same time. There you go. Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Scratch the screen right now, and if you guys have smell-o-vision, you're gonna smell what? You don't have smell-o-vision? Go to Best Buy, get the TV that's got smell-o-vision, because you can't smell what I smelled at that front door that I knew before we even came in. This is where I want to film, and you can see why.
Well, that sandwich was certainly good, and now we're going to start on this other plate. All right, now we're going back to this creole, and we went ahead and heated this rice.
That's ridiculous.
And so this red sauce all over it, okay, with all those chunky tomatoes, and then we're going to take all this shrimp, okay? We're going to take all on there, okay? Now that's what I'm talking about right there. How about that, okay? And so we're going to garnish that little bad boy right there, okay? Just like that.
If the Egyptians took this and embalmed themselves in it, they would come back to life and still be here today. That is how good and amazing. Just their marinara sauce. I haven't tasted anything else. The marinara alone.
Now that bread's going to be heated when we serve it, you know, but that's going to be the finished product here. But let's take this out, the sandwich, And let's take that out here,
That is-
and let's bring it on out, okay? Come on out, let's do that.
This is Gulf shrimp. This is tail on. We're gonna just pull that off, and we're gonna dig into some of this dirty rice.
Oh, it smells so good.
This is Gulf shrimp, okay? This is some of Alabama's finest wild-caught shrimp.
Get it so I can get some.
Oh my God.
That's so good.
I'm gonna cut some of the sandwich here off.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The shrimp pops. The grain of the rice is phenomenal. It's cooked perfectly. The shrimp, one of the worst things you can do to seafood is overcook seafood. You'll kill any type of seafood by overcooking it. Shrimp is very unique in the way that its structure is made. If it's cooked correctly, it will pop in your mouth, and that's exactly what the shrimp does. It's followed up by a little heat. You can definitely pick up the Trinity, which is the pepper mixture. The rice, which is more of a dirty rice, which is definitely Cajun style. This is a phenomenal dish. It's perfect.
Now, this was that crib and jerk sandwich you were talking about,
Oh,
okay?
wow.
You got all that ham, and you got that chicken in there, you got that red onion with the glaze in there, and you got that garlic bread.
One of the things that we really enjoy, see the saturation on the bread right there? That is perfect saturation. The crispiness of the actual ham itself. Let's take a bite of this.
I was gonna squirt.
Now, you have to be, with food like we like, you have to be strategic in your bite. Otherwise, you'll splatter stuff on the wall. The type of food that we're gonna bring to you guys is juicy, wonderful, and delicious. And so, I'm kind of scoping this out to figure out where I want to attack first. What I want is that right there. I want that in my first bite. Very important.
Bam, as we've been talking about that.
The heat that comes off of that is immediate. It's not strong. It's not overwhelming. It doesn't lock things down. The chicken is cooked perfectly.
It's spicy.
The layers of this, the sauteed onions, everything about this sandwich is wonderful.
It truly does complement the whole eating experience, so we're just going to continue to try to build these products each and every day the same way so that we put out a 10 product. And so as we look for new things to go with all the new beers that we're going to be doing, ultimately, that's going to be the super dine-in experience when you give honest value for the dollar.
Absolutely.
And people continue to come back and they tell your friends. You can advertise, but if you don't have people telling their friends about your restaurant, then you really aren't doing the right
No.
way.